Ready?
Mm-hmm. Woo! Cheers to
another one. No?
Oh my god.
Is this your first beer in a while?
I forgot about the taste.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You haven't tried it? You haven't had beer?
I don't know. Maybe like Christmas. I don't really remember.
Yeah.
But it's been months for sure.
I haven't had a beer.
That's bitter.
Okay.
I just had a flashback of all the times I drank beer. Not so pretty.
It's not.
Just kidding.
Think about that.
But we're here now, so.
Yeah. So, episode 3.
With a
so
little
we're gonna do
remake.
Yeah, a little remake.
Like reintroducing ourselves and just like giving a little more of our background as like individuals, like who we were before we came together, and like our path towards like healing, like what made us get there, or like how did we come across that. And
yeah, and so yeah, it's gonna be kind of like a remake, so coming in with more intention, more clarity from
previous episodes.
Yeah, since the first one. And so we'll give a brief intro about ourselves. So I'm Jose. This is Liz.
I'm Liz. Beth.
And Lizbeth. Yeah, her name is Lizbeth.
But I'm Liz.
Yeah. Liz for short. Liz for short.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I started, let's see. No, we as a couple. Who are we as a couple? That's what we were saying. That's what needs to be said. So I think when I think about our relationship, I would label ourselves as a couple that is like intuitive, a couple that moves forward in life in their own way, like if you're very
self-aware.
Yeah, self-aware, authentic. I feel like authenticity is very important, as like in our dynamic we strive to come together in an authentic way, and also in a very different way compared to the way a lot of other couples move. I feel like definitely not traditional,
Mm-hmm.
but we have values that
we're really not comparing. We're just ourselves.
Yeah, we're just very ourselves. So then,
well, at least we try to be.
I guess that's the dynamic, or at least the intention with the relationship. I think we came in and we said, okay, we're looking for somebody that we can grow with, that we can create a family with, and that we can we can have like fun, like exploring the world with, and that world is completely different than what a lot of people see the world as. So like very imaginative, very spiritual, very guided by like the inner self.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so as a couple,
our intuition.
Yeah, our intuition. I'd say like a quick, like some like words that would describe us. I'd say it'd be kind of like definitely spiritual. At least I would say that spiritual, conscious, and real or authentic. I don't know. What would you describe our relationship as? Like 3 words, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I've yet to summarize it.
Courageous. Is that one?
That's a good one.
Very like open in the way like we're open to one another. Like yeah, well, like kind of like real towards one another, and the people we come across with, and very like loving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then our individual stories, I think, I guess something that I do want to mention is we're also parents. So we're new parents.
2 out of 3 month olds.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we just got, so our baby Jediah, he's 3 months old now. And then we got married like about a year ago almost.
Almost a year ago. Literally, I was telling you earlier how literally a year ago was my first day living in Arizona. And now we're back in San Diego. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's been a year.
That ended quick.
Yeah, came back. So we're here, and so we're parents and we're also dancers. We met through dance.
Yes.
So I think expression is a very important aspect of a relationship. I think the fact that we met through dance.
Creative expression.
Yeah, creative expression, like creativity, being yourself, being expressive. That's a really big part of our relationship, I feel like. And the fact that we're parents, I think, is also it kind of gives a big thing that we're committed, you know? We take each other seriously enough to have a baby, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And we really, I don't want to say like bet on each other, but we just like took a big leap forward in faith. So, like you said earlier, like intuitive. So we've made decisions that are completely out of the norm. Meeting each other, proposing to her, and like a few weeks after meeting her. So individual stories. You want to start with who you are? What your story was?
Before I got pregnant? Before I even met you?
Yeah. Like, who are you?
Who I am right now?
Yeah, separate from the relationship, I guess.
Question mark, because I'm like still learning who I am. I feel like I was like in a good flow of knowing who I was before I met him, or before I got pregnant, because the pregnancy really threw me off. And I kind of, when I think about it, it's like now that I'm here, I'm like, I allowed the worries, and yeah, very much so, like the worries like take over my personality, because I wasn't able to allow myself to like develop who I was meant to be throughout my pregnancy. I feel like I was just very closed off. I realized that I was very closed off in my pregnancy, like not connecting with a lot of people. I wasn't really connected with myself as much as I would have liked to, but you know, we're here now, and now I'm like, now that I'm here, I sit with myself and like kind of relive my pregnancy and but I realize that I just could have been like more open. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But but that's okay. Like I said, I'm just kind of figuring out who I am right now. I'm taking every day slowly as they come, and it's been 3 months since I've had a baby, and like at first I was feeling just like a mom, and I didn't even know what it meant to me to be a mom, other than like nurturing for this baby that like I just had. But now I'm kind of learning how to incorporate my own self again, and motherhood and making it one, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But before, and I keep saying before I got pregnant because I want to like really emphasize on like pregnancy was like a total 360 on top of like the 360 that I committed to like consciously.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. Which was me moving to Arizona. And before that, I was like on the path of like just healing, like intentionally healing myself, learning what healing meant, like meditating and just doing a lot of inner work um, for myself, which made me feel really good, which allowed me to like express myself in ways that I had never been able to or even knew that I was capable of. And I was just very connected to myself more than I've ever been in my entire life. And I feel like me just being on the path of consciously like wanting to grow myself and create like positive like energy or state that I remained in like 24/7 allowed me to meet people that I connected with and meet Jose, and like that's how it led me to him. And then once I got pregnant, I was still myself but differently, um, just not knowing where and how to be myself, especially because I was in a whole new environment, like a whole new state, away from my comfort zone. So that kind of made me like get back in my shell. But now I'm breaking that again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess a few things maybe to take from Liz's story. I know moving forward, I definitely want to talk more about pregnancy for women who struggle with pregnancy in general, or going through it. I think Liz's story, because we're still figuring things out, but there are things that we found that have helped us, and there are things that I've struggled with, specifically with like even resources around childbirth and like what the West lacks in terms of education. I hope to be like a good resource for people.
Mm-hmm.
And then and with Liz, I feel one of the things that I really like about who she is the fact that she was able to, how fluid and how in tune she was and is still, like even regardless of the things that have happened, we're still together. We've committed to a relationship, and even through the struggles, we still have managed to connect and figure things out. So I think it's I feel like she's like a great example, in my opinion, for how a woman would look like, in when it's in like a feminine woman, and a woman who's also a mother, but a woman who's also like her own person, because she's like doing her own thing, like dancing and creating her own space. So I think there's a lot to, hopefully we can show people, like with the podcast. But a little bit about me. I've also been going through some changes. I think I've been on this like spiritual journey for like years now, consciously just learning and growing and studying. I'm more of a, like, I love reading. I study a lot. I got into psychology when I was in college, and I graduated, got my degree, learned a lot about healing, have taken large amounts of interest in like so many different things, so many different practices, disciplines, philosophies. I'm really, really into exploring um, all of these things around spirituality. So whether it be like psychedelics or whether it be meditation, I feel like I just know a lot, and I am currently um, kind of embodying this new person who is basically out there, putting himself out there and letting people know, hey, I'm a healer. I This is who I am. I think being with Liz has really, like, I've always been like, I've helped people out, and I like have my own YouTube channel, but showing up in a way that's consistent and that is almost universal, where the person who I am at home is also the person I am when I go outside. I think that's kind of where I'm transitioning to, where not only do I feel confident as like a healer within the house, but confident as a healer in the outside world and comfortable in saying, hey, this is who I am. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. But the thing about me is I just love to share what I know, like knowledge, wisdom, and I'm always constantly contemplating on things in life. So whether that be as a father, or whether that be as a husband, or whether that be as a dancer or a writer or whatever, like I hope to share what I've learned to help people who are also stepping into those roles and want to express themselves at a higher level. So I guess my story, I guess I would say that before meeting Liz, I was just I've just constantly been into healing, constantly been into spirituality, constantly been into growing and learning. So so I just hope, my goal is to like empower men, I guess, to learn, if they don't have a partner, to learn what it looks like for a man to be in a relationship with somebody that does meet them at that specific level of like realness and authenticity, and like hopefully give people an example of what a good relationship looks like, or what a authentic relationship looks like. Not so much good, because good is subjective, but just give people something that they can use and reflect on and see how they can bring that into reality. So that's my thing.
I want to ask, when you say you're a healer, can you like go into that more? Because a healer can be very like broad nowadays.
Yeah, so specifically right now, for example, I've just been letting people know. I've been focusing towards my healing business. I have a holistic healing business, and it's tied into my overall business, which is lucid living. And lucid living is just about living lucid, being conscious, evolving, healing. So being a healer to me is can be more specifically just saying, hey, I'm a holistic healer. I help people release emotions. I help people who have imbalances in their body, but that is just kind of like the exterior appearance. It's just a guide for me as a healer, and internally it means to be a guide to go out into the world and to show people who they are,
Mm-hmm.
so that they can live authentically, harmoniously, and in line with who they're meant to be. Yeah. So yeah, exterior is like, hey, I do healing sessions, and I can help you. I can help chronic people dealing with chronic diseases, etc.
Like the physical body.
The physical body. But like lucid, if you look at my YouTube channel, I talk about psychology and spirituality, and those are like facets, and all those things. There's like the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. So like, I'm striving to create a foundation that allows people to come in and heal at all those levels, or evolve through all those levels. So my thing is like healer slash guide. It's not just me doing energy work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to add anything before we go to the next thing?
At least I'll say like what I want to get out of this, or
Yeah.
like who I'm trying to like reach.
Yeah.
In reality, like, I'm just doing this because it's something new to me, and I'm like very open to trying new things. Also, like years ago, I've always felt that I wanted to have like be able to speak to a camera and share it to like the public, and whoever comes across it, it's because they're meant to, or because they're searching for it, or for whatever reason. Like I always felt that within me. I just never knew how, or never knew the why, and maybe I still don't necessarily know the why, but I think I just have more like courage, or I'm just not as like I have a little more confidence to be able to do this. So I think I just want to share my own experiences with whatever I've gone through, whether it's like pregnancy, with our relationship, with the work I've done to like get on the path of just like healing myself, just, and I'm still in the works of that because you just never stop. But way before I got onto that path, I was very much like a wild person within my own group, like my own friends group, and I would like go clubbing a lot. I would drink a lot. I was just very out and about doing, living that teenage slash like 21 years of age life, which we're 24 by the way. We're not like old, so that was only like a few years ago.
Yeah, we're just crazy
to see like the drastic changes, like I wouldn't have thought I would have been here not even at 22. But yeah, I was like a wild person, and eventually like that lifestyle just got boring and draining, and I would wake up in the mornings feeling like hungover, and I started realizing that that wasn't it for me. Like I just didn't feel good starting my day feeling super shitty, or it was just like I just had enough. So then eventually I started like working out, and that's when I started like actually giving myself a little more love and attention, and that's what led me onto this path of like just wanting to better myself. First it was physically, and then until I was doing that for like a year, like going to the gym and stuff. And then I hit this like wall, and I realized that I still didn't feel good. I realized that like it was something more I needed to do to be able to feel like confident and good about myself. And then that's when I realized that my intentions to working out at first were only to get a nice body and to look good for myself and for others. And I realized then like after a year that that's not it. Like I had to go way deep within myself, and that's when I realized and came across like breath work sessions, breath work, like meditations and stuff similar to that. And then that's when I opened up that door of self-healing and inward healing, which that's what really changed, like helped me change and realized a lot of things about myself for the better. And
And so saying that you're trying to help.
Oh, I'm just trying to help like anyone that feels well, I don't know, like just I want to just share like my my story, and if people can resonate with it, and take bits and pieces for themselves. Just like, people say people don't change, but you can change. If you put in the work, if you want to intentionally change for the better, it's always possible. And I know I wasn't always a bright, caring, positive person towards myself and towards the people I had surrounding me. I was very like harsh, angry, rude, just dark, but yeah, if you do the work and if you're willing and wanting to change, it's always possible. So
Oh, babe.
but as you're healing yourself, you're healing that past version of yourself too. So, and you always learn from it. Why am I getting emotional? It's a beer.
It's the beer.
Just kidding.
No, that's good. Yeah. Thank you, babe.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, just keep going. Okay,
all right,
I'm okay.
cool.
I'm okay.
We're doing great. All right.
This is just a little like, we're just being true.
Yeah.
We're here to also like show people, like, this is like not edited, this is not scripted or like any of that. We're just here to like, if we feel like emotional and if it comes, then it comes, like, it's okay. Like, we're here.
Yeah, we're here. So I think and so so then I think that'll take us next to what brings us together. So that's what the next topic is. Individually, that was Liz and that was me. And so then what drives our relationship forward? We kind of already mentioned it, but we met through dance. We have a strong passion to express ourselves, I think. And I think that's beautiful. I think the desire to dance and be creative and share, that's a super big aspect, and I think that's what I was looking for a long time, and I'm glad that I feel blessed to have this relationship where that's kind of like a core value of ours. And so I don't know if you want to share something when it comes to, for you, like how, like the importance of dance, like what role that plays.
So personally, dance, what it means to me, I think it's just a like creative outlet for me to express my body and my emotions. What did I just say?
It's a outlet for your body and your emotions to express your body.
Yeah, it's just a way for me to express my body. It helps me release like any tension I feel like I hold. And right now I do hold a lot of tension just because of like carrying the baby and just the way I sleep and all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like to play music and just dance. What it means to me, it's very like.
Well, she loves to perform. Yeah. I feel like.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not so much a performative person, but
when I started dancing, we danced salsa and bachata. When I started that, I took like a month of just regular classes, and then my then director, she started her ladies bachata team, and she told me about it, and she was like, yeah, you should join. And I was like, okay, cool, like why not? Like let me try something else. And I've always enjoyed dancing, but I would only dance like at like the parties, clubbing, you know, nothing really like performative on a stage, on a team. But I always dreamt of that. I would always watch like videos on YouTube, and like it was always just a dream of mine as a little kid. Even like I remember watching like shows of people competing, like doing competitions of dancing and stuff with like my mom. So it was always a dream, you know. But not until like I was presented with that, like I took that because I had the confidence to do it, or I just like didn't care as much to like, I was just trying something new, really.
Mm-hmm.
And when I joined the team, it really allowed me to express myself in a way that I've never like had before. It allowed me to be like more in tune with like my feminine side, and also it like I was in like a late all ladies team, so it was very like also healing to be a part of something for myself. I felt like I was always like an outsider in a way. So being a part of a team, an all women's team, it felt really nice because we were all like supportive of each other, loving each other. It was like sisterhood that I've never experienced before. So when I think about dance, I think of all those things. So I feel like it hits like way deep inside. It's not just me dancing and performing. And even though like also as I like performed, because I did it for like a good year, no, like 2 years. Yeah, I did it for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I performed for like 2 years, and the more I would hit the stage, I would like embody this other person that I'm not, who I would wait how I would embody this other person who you don't see on a regular day.
Yeah.
Like very powerful, very like,
Or that you didn't experience,
yeah,
or you weren't used to something new.
yeah. And I think just like learning that other, getting to know that other side of me was very like, um how would you say,
Empowering.
empowering, very addictive.
Mm.
Like I fell in love with it. It made me feel something that I had never felt before, but in a good way. And I literally, when you put on that costume and like do the hair and the makeup, it's just like very dramatic. And I think that allowed me to express the loud side of me that I am, you know, and that I had never ever been able to be in the previous years of my life. So that's what dance is to me. It's like healing.
Mm-hmm.
And what it means for us, I've been enjoying like us dancing more, like just randomly. I feel like that has allowed us to not only like be expressive of like our bodies during that moment, but it allows our connection within, like the connection we have with one another, like grow
Mm-hmm.
a lot more, like connect more, like understand the way like your body moves a lot more, like how our bodies move and flow together.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the beginning it was kind of like,
yeah,
but now I feel more of like a natural flow when we dance together. Even though still like I feel like we have very different styles.
Yeah, we do.
So we couldn't really connect right away. And now since we do it more often and more freely, and since it's just us two, I feel like it's just easier to find that like natural flow for both of our bodies. So it like just allows us to connect physically and like emotionally. And to me, I feel like since I can dance however in front of you, really, that shows me that I can be open to you about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I agree. Something that I will add about Liz and dance, I think, like you picked it up pretty quick. It was crazy how when I met you, you said you only had like a year or a little bit over a year that you were dancing, but your ability to express yourself through dance was really, I think, like pretty up, like high level, especially compared to how long you had been doing it. So
also thanks to Kenna.
Yeah.
Because she like really encourages us
and
like helps us find that.
Yeah, shout out to Kenna.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's really cool. I really like that about Liz, and I think dance. I think we're just scratching the surface. So, because so that's another thing. So I have a podcast.
And go dive deep.
And we will, because that's the thing. I have a podcast on around social dancing. So that's how big of a passion it is for me. Like, it's a big aspect of my life, and I have big goals for that. And so I have a very ambitious nature, and I'm everywhere. So like now, doing so many things. But when it comes to dance, from a performative standpoint, I don't know if I am there to be like I want to be a performer or express myself in that way. The crazy thing is though that ever since I was a kid though, I always love being on stage, like just dancing, like not for so much the performative aspect. I don't know. It was just like I just want to be on a stage and just like sauce it up. That's literally what I would think. Yeah, like that's it. Like that's what I care about. So I come in it from a long relationship with dance, and like Liz's family dances too. So I'm pretty sure she has a long relationship too.
Well, yeah. Like I mentioned that I would always dance in the parties. Like,
right.
Ever since I was this big, like my tias and tios would just pull me and stuff. But
yeah.
I feel like it's just a big thing in our culture.
It's kind of crazy, yeah. But it's not everybody though, because I know not all Mexicans, even people that grow up with us.
Even my sister.
Yeah, like our family, like I feel like my family is barely, like my siblings are barely getting to like around to dance, and it's been a huge part of my life. Like, I would be doing like breakdance. I would be breakdancing since like I was 5, just like messing around and just really creative in that aspect and just really into it. So I think we're just really scratching the surface. I think the reason why I guess we're introducing it into this podcast is because it's been a huge part of how we met. It's literally how we met. We met through dance, like first off, and also in terms of like the healing aspect, like Liz mentioned, is very healing. Like when I was going through my breakup, it was like super helpful. I didn't realize just how much I needed a community, like how important community is. I was always very like, oh, I can deal with things on my own, and up till then I was able to. But once I discovered dance, I was just like, bro, like I need this. This is needed. So it's become a very important aspect of my life, and my goals, of course, are to for sure blow up my podcast, freaking make dance mainstream, because not everybody knows how powerful it is.
So go
check out the Salseros. Yeah, I gotta plug them in. The Salseros were on YouTube and Instagram. Yeah, and so there's that, and then creatively, as an individual, just want to explore so many different facets of dance, just like whether it be hip hop, or anything else, even like her style. She started learning sensual. I think that was like your base.
Well, that's because That's what is here in
Yeah,
San Diego.
so like
It's
San Diego, it's like
heavy on
huge.
sexual.
It's more about waves over here.
Yeah, because
And
we got the ocean, you know.
yeah, you know what? That might also even be a thing. Shit, that might be a thing. Because in Arizona, it's all about that freaking like fire. Like you gotta like and it's
The
hot
sauce.
as fuck.
Bro, hot as fuck is like.
Is an understatement.
Yes. Because, oh my god. Whenever somebody asks me, like, how hot is it over there? I always say, just imagine yourself opening up the oven when it's like 450 degrees.
And you
know?
walk outside.
And that's when you open the door of your house and that just
like,
hits you in the face. It's at least in my opinion.
I lived there all my life. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, the people who live out there, like, oh my goodness. I've just seen and was raised in a different environment, so
yeah,
I just couldn't handle.
Yeah.
Especially being pregnant.
Yeah, it was tough for her, but
we made it. So
but
anyways.
Yeah. So I'm about that. Really about like the footwork. I don't know. It's really about just having fun. So.
I love the footwork.
Yeah. So I'm glad.
You know, crazy thing is, like, they would rarely play that traditional style here in the socials. And whenever they would play that style, I would I would feel, oh my god, like, I love this. Like, we need more of this. And then when I came across QC at the
LABKS?
What are those called? The congresses, bro. This beer is affecting me.
Yeah.
Can you realize?
A little bit, but it's not too bad.
No, but yeah, when I came across QC at the congresses, like, I fell in love with their style and just like the energy they brought, which was something San Diego does not have. And I told myself, like, I wanted to go, like, visit Arizona to take a class of QC. And little did I know that I was going to be a part of QC.
Yeah, she was a part of it. I was a part of Que Candela when I met
that's
her.
Right. That's why I was like, oh, he's from, like, Que Candela. Let me allow him to talk to me.
Okay, I guess.
Just kidding. No, but...
Yeah. So, yeah, anyway, yeah, not, so that's personally me, right? And then in terms of our relationship, I think it's been dope. I think dance has evolved because there's people that are like, oh my god, how can you be in the dance scene and still be, like, married? Like, once you get married or have a girlfriend, people usually walk away. And my opinion with that is that people are lame as fuck. But, like... Okay. That's because people are lame.
I never heard of that.
People say that. I don't know. Like, whatever. But,
to each their own.
To each their own. But, for me, like, stepping into this role of being a father, having a lot of responsibility, being a married man, obviously, and then having a business and having these goals, dance has evolved as I've evolved. And now dance has allowed me, especially with like my meditative practices and my spirituality, it's allowed for me to be able to connect with Liz at a much deeper level. Even the last time we went out to dance, like, I just had like this huge revelation of like the way, like, our dynamic as a couple and what she means and how she empowers me and how she gives me the ability to express myself. And how our relationship looks like and why it works so well. And so dance has given me that ability to see our relationship at a different level through a different lens and with more clarity. And I think as we're going to continue, that's why I keep saying, like, we're just scratching the surface. I could definitely see her, at least Liz, being like, you know, on the stage and me supporting her and just like being like her fan but also like maybe even us having our own thing, our own dance company. Um, and I think it's like in the works, you know, like this is kind of the beginning. This is like our first dive into creating like our own project together. And aside from the baby, obviously, because the baby's a whole nother thing. But
not like one of the main things.
yeah, if
Let's
so
say dance is like under the baby of ours.
yeah, it's another
At least
baby.
what we're like
Grow.
growing
Yeah.
it to be.
Yeah. So it's in the works, and it's a big aspect of our life. So that's why we love to mention it. Now the next aspect is the spiritual aspect. So I want to talk about our beliefs, I guess practices. We'll do a quick overview because so we can list any of your beliefs around spirituality, and then like any practices that have really like allowed you to connect at a deep level. Just to like let people know.
Well.
You know how that aspect like plays out.
Like how.
Just like so the background, like your background.
My background. So I'll just start with, like, I was raised Catholic, going to church every Sunday. I was even an altar server, like those people who assist the priest in, like, throughout the mass, you know.
Yeah.
And I was in it because there's a point where I wanted to be it, but also like my cousins, my sister, and etc. were a part of that. But if I'm being honest, I was always like pushed to going to church, like especially every week. My sister was very heavy on it, like she loved it, she's still all about it, and that was just not me. I would even fall asleep in mass sometimes.
Yeah, true bad.
Yeah, but I've just always known that it's not for me, and that doesn't take away from my belief in God. I feel like I still like believe in God, but now it's way differently than what I was taught. Yeah, so like once I started like once I came across breath work, that's what opened up this other like knowing of that you can, that God is not what they show you in a Catholic church or like in any religion. You know, each religion has like its own God they praise towards, but they all look differently, right? And I realized in spirituality there is still a God, but it's up to you on how you want to see or how you want to take that on.
Yeah, it's interpretive.
How do you want to interpret?
It's a personal relationship.
Yeah, and I still kind of have this question on how to view what God I'm praying to, because sometimes I still feel like I'm caught up in like the Catholic beliefs of like who God is, but I feel like now I'm developing this new relationship. When I pray, I feel like I would always question like, how am I being spiritual or learning about spirituality? But when I pray, I would pray to God, and I would connect God to being Catholic. Mm-hmm. I would connect God, like the praying aspect, like I would pray saying like the verses, the prayers that they showed us in the Catholic Church. And even though I grew up like doing those prayers and I always felt safe, the more I got into spirituality and like learning about it, the more I would question if my prayers were true to me. And I even reached out to my spiritual guide, Erica, or Mayahuel, is that right? Yeah. And I even asked her, I was already in Arizona. I'm like, when you pray, like, who do you pray to? Because I always connect it to my Catholic religion, or to religion. And I just didn't want to, because it just didn't feel right to me. I wanted to, like, have the freedom to pray and just, like, set the intention, like, okay, I'm gonna, like, say these words, or like ask for like guidance, ask for help, and have it that be my prayer. Like, I wanted it to come from me, not like reading a prayer that I was taught when I was like 10 years old. Which I still have some that very like resonate with me, you know, but I also wanted to have that like liberty, or like to feel free that I was able to create my own word and make it a prayer. So,
Not really. You're just sharing your story.
okay. Can you help
Um,
me? Come by.
yeah, I got you. So, compared to that's religion, compared to spirituality. So now, what's your relationship? You know, like
And
what?
that was my relationship.
That was like that's what you were going through. So
Yeah.
now, what's your relationship? So if you were to simplify it, like, oh well, like I meditate or I journal,
Oh, well,
and
yeah.
this the new way I do it.
Now, what I've learned when breathwork was a big way for me to be like, to become aware of who, obviously become aware of like your own breath, and how to control and just like minimize the noise in your brain or in your mind. And so breathwork has allowed me to just become more like at peace, more like consciously like self-aware of my own thoughts. And it's helped me realize like when I have thoughts that aren't mine, like I can differentiate like what's mine and what's not most of the time. So that's what like breathwork has taught me to do. Journaling also has been like a huge thing that allows me to minimize the noise in my brain. Like, it allows me to understand myself differently on paper. Like, if I'm able to read what I'm thinking, it just allows me to understand myself deeper. So that's another thing. Like, I'm trying to get back on the routine or the habit of doing that, because when I do it consistently, it like always allows me to be in a state of like peace, meaning I know what I'm thinking. Like, it just allows a lot of like thoughts, like intentional creative thoughts, to flow through my mind. And another thing I like is just like being out in the sun, like being out in nature, going to the park and just being, like just sitting there. I think that's very healing for me too.
Mhm. And then, just my thing. Well, I have a lot of things, but I think my thing is basically meditate, study, and reflect, and so, if you check out my YouTube channel, I've got so many things I talk about on there. But I like to meditate, and I read a lot. I like think a lot, and then I make changes similar to Liz, like journaling or just self reflection, introspection, and that's a big part of what helps me align myself to who I am, and and so when it comes to just being a parent and also being a husband and like how all of these things tie in, I think um, the more I am aligned with myself, the better it is for our relationship. Like, I think we have a really great relationship where our alignment to ourselves only enhances it. I think I've seen relationships where being aligned with yourself can be threatening to the other person. And I think that's what we're trying to show people. Like, hey, if, learn how to navigate those situations and think in a way where you figure out how you can find a relationship that enhances your personal connection to yourself versus takes away from it. Anything else you want to add on that one? Okay, so the next thing is we want to share how how this all comes together with our roles as parents, because we kind of already talked about how this comes together with our roles as husband and wife. So as a parent, I feel like spirituality is like a universal concept where if you understand that you being in alignment with yourself is the only thing that matters, then as a parent, the only thing that matters for me is to allow for my son or my children in the future to feel like they can be themselves. So me creating a safe space for that child to feel obviously safe, but also happy and expressive and just like comfortable in their own skin, in their own thoughts, in their own emotions. Like that is the goal. And like I think people overcomplicate things way too much, especially with parenting. I feel like this age is starting to realize that a lot of people are waking up from a lot of the traumas that they've had from their parents, how like shitty parenting can look like, and a lot of people are realizing, whoa, like I don't want to be like that. And I hope that what we're doing helps other people, because I feel like it's gonna help our children for sure. And I've already seen how it's changed. I mean, I feel like we're handling it very well. I mean, the fact that we're able to do this right now, even to like carve out some time for the podcast, is an example of how like us being intentional in our parenting and in our approach to just life in general. So that's my main goal, because it stems from my own thing where like I know that my child will show me a lot of things, because I know there's a way for me that works great for me, and I had to go through the trials and the struggles of learning that. And there's gonna be trials and struggles in learning how my child or children, like what's the best way for them. So that's the journey, and I hope to be that resource, or at least share my journey so that other people can get ideas to how they can do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like me as a mother, as a parent, I just, like he said, I want to allow my children to feel safe in their own skin, and safe to express their emotions, their thoughts, their own beliefs, because I know like there's gonna be the day where they believe their beliefs may change, differently than to what we taught them. So I just want them to have that comfort to be like outspoken, to whatever feels right and true to them, and then we'll learn how to navigate like
Those situations. Because we have it with each other too. I think.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things that we tell each other is like, you have to say what's going on. If something's bothering you, we're not gonna progress until we talk about it.
Yeah, really. And you feel it, like you feel it, the tension we're carrying, because we're literally with each other like every single day, and it's been like that except for when you left Arizona.
Yeah, well, just a few days.
But anyways, yeah, I would leave to San Diego someday. But anyways, yeah, we're literally with each other like all the time. So I feel like we've learned to read each other when we're upset, when we're like.
Yeah, just those shifts.
Yeah, like we sense it, we could feel it.
Which is.
So like, throughout the time, we've learned to be more expressive and like immediately too, and I feel like we're also very self-aware, so that really helps. like getting there and like admitting when one is wrong, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like as a relationship, we've also had like our moments where it's been difficult to express ourselves or like to share like our feelings or be vulnerable. At least that was like towards the beginning, and we still hit those moments, you know.
But they're not as hard.
But yeah, since we've already had moments like that, we know it's safe for us to
say how I feel.
Yeah, to say how we feel. So yeah, and not only like as a parent, like I want to show like our children like what our beliefs are, and I also want to show them the style of relationship they would one day look forward to having, or like if I have a daughter, like I want to show her like how to be like what it means to be like a woman or feminine. And even like my son, like I will allow him to be expressive of himself and show his true colors and show his emotions and cry if he needs to cry, because a lot of people say, I mean, that is like a feminine thing, but it's also very much okay for men to do that. So I want to be that person for him that allows him to do just that. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good. And then just hopes. So we'll finish it off with our intentions. I guess we talked about intentions, I guess.
Yeah, we did that at the beginning.
Yeah, we kind of already did. I guess just to close it off, yeah, that's our intention. We hope to keep impacting, like keep connecting with people is the main priority, I feel like. No?
Connect with me.
With everybody.
Connecting with ourselves, connecting with each other, and connecting with the outside world.
Yeah, the people that resonate with, who have that same goal. So, that's it for the episode. I feel like, any last words? We're good?
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, I just had a whole beer, so.
I kind of had a whole one, so I'm just, like, definitely, like.
Really hit. Yeah. It was a good one. Yeah. Alright, thank you guys. Peace.
We're gonna show them this, and we're like.